leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports,
Yo, big shout out to the hottest chat in the MFing game. A-side official. No negotiations needed, period. It don't matter how the haters are feeling. We back with another one. JAG on deck. 402 in the building. What it do, man? Salute. Stickum boys on deck. Salute. I see you. And everybody else that's about to step in. You know, activate the button, show your support. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Today is the day, y'all. Today is the day where I talk once again about one of my favorite fighters. Terence Crawford is having a parade to celebrate his achievement, the accolades that not the average fighter could have done. I mean, an accolade that's definitely going down in the boxing history. Come on, man. Last Puma in the building. Come on, man. Omaha legend on deck. 402 is on a different type of grid right now. When you look them up on the map, it's going to be a glowing, illuminated perimeter around Omaha, Nebraska when it comes to boxing talk. Because this guy who seems so average, just think about it. This guy who seems so average, no matter what he did, people always try to give low appraisal. They try to put this man achievements on the clearance rack. They try to give him a reduced price tag on it. It really don't mean that much. It ain't gonna matter. They sit up there and excoriated this man when he told Spence he don't need him for his legacy. Did he need Canelo? Did he need Canelo? It looks like it to me, because Canelo, boy, Crawford went in there and got the package, didn't he? He got the severance package, the solidification package. Crawford got the dang severance package by defeating Canelo Alvarez. This is historical. These spoiled little brats going around here, not really looking at the magnitude. They busy up here trying to compete with one another, talking about if you support a fighter all the time and you choose to do live streams all the time on that fighter, they try to act like it's something wrong with that. Man, I am so happy to be a part of history and just witnessing this occasion. Just witnessing. If you say you mess with boxing and support it on an active schedule of attendance, coming on here all the time, doing content on the sport, you have to look at this as one of the greatest moments of this era, yo. This average dude that never got credit for nothing, always had to prove himself. This dude went in here 2 weight classes up and defeated the face of boxing, man. I'm talking about against all the naysayers. So one of my biggest questions is, what was his team thinking when they was at 140? Could they telescopically, zoom in and see what was ahead? Could they forecast this? Did they see this on the horizon? I don't think they did. The only thing they seen on the horizon was they got to continue to layer their legacy, continue to build, continue to use their brick and mortar when it came to their achievements, continue to prove to the boxing community that they was one of the best to ever do it. Terence Crawford is not just a boxer who did great things, while he was in the sport. He is one of the best ever. I could care less about what these other voices are trying to echo. I don't care about that. Everybody will always have their own opinion. That's the normality of it. Everybody will have their own opinion. At the end of the day, this right here was absolutely incredibly amazing to witness during my time. Period. This man is about to have a parade, and he is a legend. He is freaking boxing royalty. He's the first to do a lot. He's the first, yo. 2-time undisputed, 3-time undisputed, first. We're talking about 2 divisions now. All the other ones followed behind him. 2 divisions undisputed, 3 divisions undisputed. All the lineals that he have. Come on, yo. 5 division champion? What? And they want to talk about gloves, yo. They want to talk about Crawford's gloves.
If you look right there in the circle, follow the red arrow. Look at how Bud Crawford was warming up in the back and how solid and stiff that his glove looked. And then if you pay attention to when he was placing that glove on the jawline of Canelo Alvarez and then returning back to the starting position, how flimsy the glove looked.
And I'm saying to myself, shut your hating behind up. You know why? Because when Tyson Fury had that same situation, it was dudes on here doing the exact same thing. Clearly, Tyson Fury had floppy gloves, but they were saying, no, Deontay Wilder, no, that wasn't true. He didn't have none. Y'all just up here trying to act like, Deontay Wilder can't lose and all that. This man had floppy gloves for real. The gloves was up on his palm. Now you're trying to revisit someone that has been a clean look what you call a model citizen in the sport of boxing, and you want to say, oh, let's take it from snack to the gloves, and you want to reference what Derrick James did after he beat the brakes off EJ. Derrick James grabbed the gloves like he was Billy Collins Sr. He act like his fighter was freaking Luis Resto. I mean, he act like his fighter was Billy Collins. And Terence Crawford was Luis Resto. That's what Derrick James was acting like. He said, how in the hell he beat this dude up like that? Because Billy Collins, rest in peace, man. He looked bad after that Resto fight. But they actually cheated. So if you paid attention, DJ tried to draw in a moment from that by grabbing Crawford's gloves and squeezing it. No, you should have been looking at film. You should have been studying. And if you even took the time to study, you should have known that there was more that haven't been seen with Crawford, and y'all was doomed to begin with. But let's get back to the naysayers. The naysayers, will you be at the parade today? Yo, naysayers, will you be there celebrating? Do y'all understand, as a black fighter, how long have you seen another great black fighter? They're like, we supposed to get permission to speak on great black fighters. This is another great black fighter, yo. That's them basically they've been the first to do it. This is amazing feat. Y'all just don't understand, man, how epic. How epic of a moment this is for this man to be there in Omaha, Nebraska, and not only just putting them on the map in boxing by being a legend, by just simply going about it the way he did. When you had all these, voices on here talking about the snack program. They desperately tried to tie Crawford down into something controversial, but nothing ever came back that stuck. Bud Smoke Canelo in the building. DV Don Vaughn on deck. Mike is in the building. What's good? Blue Hustle in the building. Salute. They always try to tie when he went up there and beat Madrimov. I felt like, and I even said it on here. I say it seems like, you know, Bud went up there and then put forth 100% effort. He did just enough to get through the fight. And if you was here and you heard me say that, the only thing I was feeling some type of way about is that he went in there and swiped and wiped Errol Spencer's nose too quick. He made it look too easy. He should have, played with his food a little bit. Once he found out he can have his way with Spence, he should have just took it to the 12th round and stopped him there. And then people would have said, you know what? Hey, truth be told, he did go to the 12th round. Let's make that rematch. No, he went in there and disfigured this man's face. He made him look different. And that alone, Showtime said, hey, I want everybody on the tarmac at 1300. We out of here. Okay, make sure the landing gear works. Make sure you do a full 360-degree inspection. We're out of here, baby. But Showtime, let me talk to you, Showtime. We need this Crawford and Spence, rematch. Can you just stay around? Nope. I got my people and I gave them their orders. You be there at 1300. We're going to do a head count. We out of here. Wings, landing gear. We out. We in the skies. We're not entertaining no rematch. He beat that man up. They didn't want to do it, yo. And then when it came to him moving up to 154, they had a problem with that. They was talking how Madrimov was such a decorated amateur, and Bud clearly won the fight. But I love the way change of events happen in boxing. I love how the boxing community have so many people who are flip-floppers, who are undecided, confusing individuals who want to ride the fence. They want to one time or another support this fighter and then switch up at the last minute, support that fighter. It happens all the time. I'm not mad at it. I just hear so many people talking about how certain individuals flip-flop. WCS never flip-flop. The only fighter that I truly released was Teofimo Lopez. I released him from my favorite fighters list. I did. I got him up out of here. I was supporting Teofimo Lopez before he fought Lomachenko. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm just telling you the way it is. I'm just telling you the way it is when I was out in the trenches, man. Terence Crawford's parade is well-deserved. I won't say it's long overdue because, timing such as this seems like it's in its bubble of perfection. I love it. I don't want to wait to 5 to 10 years from now when people start to talk about how great Terence was, but yet they refuse to, mention his name in a halo of compliments while he was still actively fighting in the sport. They want to wait till some of these black fighters get up out of the sport to say, you know what, looking back on it, hey, yo, Bud did his thing. All right, Bud did his thing. Cool. He did his thing, though. Not every fighter is going to have a moment like this to be the first to do it. When you're the first to do something, it does move you to the front of the line when it comes to achievements. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. It moves you to the front of the line so people can look at you and say, if it was easy, then everybody would do it. Bud was one of the ones who did it. He may not have been the first to become undisputed during the 4-belt era, but he was first for 2 division. He was first for 3 division. You know what I'm saying? Right now, he's standing at the top of the mountain alone. He sits the throne by himself. He's wearing the crown. Heavy is the head who wears the crown. Bud is wearing that. And today, Omaha gets to celebrate a legend. When they mention Bud, they should say legend. They should say legend. They're not going to give him the respect like Manny Pacquiao's a legend. The respect that they give Manny Pacquiao for having 8 divisions to his credentials, they always highlight, oh, Manny. Okay. Now Bud is a legend. I guess for them to use it in their intro, he's going to have to go down to 160 or something and pick up another division, become 6th division champion. You know what I'm saying? I think that, in my opinion, it would be okay for Crawford if he selected to move how he moved, whoever he wanted to fight. Even at 160 pounds, he can do that. It shouldn't be no resistance or anything. People should say, yeah, he get to pick and choose. Just like Canelo did his last 4 to 5 fights. Just pick and choose. He's had pretty tough fights, man. You know, he had the Spence, he had the freaking Madrimov, and he had the Canelo fight. Canelo of all. 12-round championship showcase. Allegiant Stadium, Vegas. 2 of his most memorable performances went down in Vegas on the biggest stage, national TV, thousands in attendance, millions watching. You know what I'm saying? 2 of his biggest, most notable performances went down in Vegas, yo. And I have no doubt to get on here and say, you know, it was good to be on the winning side. It was good to see Crawford and his team achieve this success, because they can also say that they was a part of the legendary halo that Crawford was trying to achieve. They was a part of the credentials. They put in the hard sweat etiquette to get this man prepared for the art of war. They did everything they had to do, yo. It's very, very special. Unfortunately, you know, we have too many people out here, instead of just talking about, you know, the good in fighters like I do, they always want to act like you can't support a fighter heavy. You're D-riding, you're on your knees, right? But yet they'll brag about how many interviews they got with a fighter, how a fighter will seek them out and all that. That's the same thing. If you want to do comparisons, I really never cared. People done said I was a Deontay Wilder fangirl, I was a Bud buddy and all that. Hey man, say what you want. I you know, it really don't bother me. But in order for you to support boxing, there has to be entities in boxing that are competing. If we look at the format, there are 1 to 2. There has to be more than 1 fighter in the ring to compete in a fight, or else it's considered shadow boxing. It's considered an open workout. In order for there to be competition, there has to be more than 1 competitor, licensed competitor on the amateur and professional level. If you extract that, there's nobody in the ring. There's no scheduling. There's no sanctioning. What are you sanctioning? The ring? The ring just have to go through an approval process. Who are we watching the fight? Why do we pay money to see fighters? Why are they cheering? Why is there a celebration? Why is there championships? If you're not supporting the fighters and you want to call it D-riding, or you want to say you're on your knees, why do so many content creators brag about access to certain fighters? Why is there so many content creators willing to put out defamatory information and insults just to get a response back from a fighter and then brag about it? Why are these grown men willing to be embarrassed? It goes back to the family dynamic, don't it? You have family, you got kids, you got all that. Those of you that's married and those of you that's in the woke lifestyle, right? You have your situation that you're in. You have your kids that you're raising to be a certain way in society. You want people to look at them and say, you know what, your parents raised you right. But yet you're getting on here and you're saying all these things about a fighter that's making a living for his family too. And you're running a smear campaign over and over again. You have the torches lit and you're marching. Every time you come in here, you got something negative to say. But this man got a family just like you got. Then you get to a point where finally the fighter responds to you in the most disrespectful way. And y'all cats are happy about that. The Fanons just tried their best to talk that crap to Crawford over and over and over and over again until he responded. And then finally go live. Look, y'all. Where I'm from, you a hoe. If you're trying to stalk and criticize any type of fighter, especially a fighter on a level as Terence Crawford, and you want that attention, it goes for any fighter, but you want that attention, and you get it, and you go online and brag about it. What does that say about you? Like it's very much questionable how you are, your entire makeup as a man. You know what I'm saying? We have a lot of individuals that'll say they support the sport, which I feel is the dumbest statement ever. They support the sport, not the fighter. And some of these dudes who were saying that in the beginning, oh, they definitely supporting the fighter because they find themselves to be in competition with other content creators to prove that they can get access other than better than other content creators. What is that? Kissing ass? Because they want to act like they want to ask the tough questions. No, you're not asking tough questions. A lot of people was happy to get access to Crawford. They had to get the interview. But they have to understand that Crawford has changed since he didn't want to attend the microphone back in the day. He didn't want to be in the presence of anyone that was reporting. But as he got older and he understood that for his brand, for his exposure, for his expansion, it was healthy for him to get out there and let people know who he was, vice what was going on in the community, the online boxing community. You know what I'm saying? He had to get out there and let people know who he was, real talk. And I have no problem with that. My only issue is if you look at all the negativity that's been going on and people still mad and angry that Crawford went up there and successfully defeated Canelo Alvarez, and for them to be mad at me, look, you cannot take away my moment. All the times I've seen Crawford fight in person, the pictures and all that. I don't care if I don't have it exclusive. I'm gonna be honest. The most I talk is on here. I'm not a very talker unless I know you. Like unless I truly know. It's only certain people that I talk to on here. I don't want no exclusive interview. Outside of fight week. Outside of fight week, I don't have to have your number. When you see me, we can dap it up. We cool, we friendly, this, that, and the other. But I'm glad I never was in the circle of Deontay Wilder to go to his place. And then my demeanor says no. People misread me all the time. I don't want that connection. I understood boxing a long time ago. A lot of people told me how the itinerary works. You get in close and you have all this access. And usually it's somebody that's not in the circle that severs those ties for you. That sit up there and tell a lie instead of that person coming to you asking, did this happen? They assume that the person they're hearing it from is telling them something with merit. And that's not always the case. You have disingenuous people out here that do that all the time. I never wanted the true connection more than I got outside of fight week. The moment I had covering Teofimo Lopez before the fame and title reigns, awesome. You know what I'm saying? Awesome. One of the only content creators to walk out on a major network on the ring walk outside of IOTBA. That I know. that I know. I mean, Shaw News too. That I know. Those are moments that I say all the time. It was what it was, yo. Like those times was good. I enjoyed the one interview that Crawford, and then the rest was media scrums. I enjoyed that, man. You know what I'm saying? I enjoyed him giving me an exclusive interview in the presence of all the content creators who was waiting behind me. Behind me, Crawford instructed. I'm talking to him, and don't nobody interrupt. I respect that. It ain't no way I was gonna turn my back on Crawford. That's when he wasn't giving interviews. It was never a competition. Me, salute to you, man. You know, Crawford said, I'm talking to him and him alone. But I'm being honest with you. I don't like the exclusive interviews. Like I may have did them online, but I just don't. That's why I don't go on camera. I don't. People know how I look. I just don't care to do that. If I talk to you in person, yeah, I kick it, whatever. We good. But I just don't have to have the exclusive. I want to sit down, and I did all that, yo. I did that already, man. Shout out to Crawford, man. Real talk, man. It was an absolute pleasure. Him and his team, more so Crawford, Bomac. You know, I remember the first time I interviewed Bomac in Texas. Hey, he really wasn't talking to him like that. The Omaha Cats was different. He really didn't want to talk, man. I said, okay, shit. Then I asked Crawford. Crawford told me no, he wasn't talking, to really anybody back then. And finally, when it was Shakur fight week, he said, come back this time, I give you an interview. All right, cool. And he said, all them other content creators, he said, I'm talking to him and him alone. So when these dudes is just becoming on scene and they feel like the access that they have, I'm happy. Look, I'm happy that they finally wised up and understood that, yeah, you have to be a fan of the fighter. Stop saying you're not a fan of the fighter, because you are a fan of the fighter, because you wouldn't be so happy to be in the presence of a fighter when they're having special moments like this. And today is another special moment in Omaha where they about to have a parade for a momentous occasion as him defeating Canelo Alvarez, the former face of boxing. He defeated the man. So what does that make Crawford? The man. The man that beat the man. Crawford beat the man. And y'all might not want to hear it, but Crawford beat the man, yo. He beat the man, yo. Let me take a look and see if anyone's streaming the parade. So I see the Apostles and Terence Bud Crawford victory parade. So hey, drop a link if it's anybody else that's already live, because I see Gooch and them, Gooch and Cam, they going live at 11:15. You feel me? Let me see. Okay. Let me do a search right quick. So what I'm looking at, they say it's about to start, and the streets are very active over there. There's more people than it was at the last parade. This might be an old one though. This might be an old one, or it just might be in the same area. Okay. 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 Appreciate you. Let me click that. Appreciate you, DV. Mm, okay. See, this is live, so who is this? This is Terence. I don't want to get my shit taken down, have any haters, but it's 200 some people watching right now, so they haven't quite started. Appreciate that, DB. Yeah, those of you that DV dropped that link, that's where you can see that. Let me see. Let's see the parade. Okay. Police escort. Oh, they got the color guard out there. I was on the color guard once upon a time in the U.S. Marine Corps. They walking down the street. You know, it's packed. Hey, and those of you that support Bud Crawford and knowing that you may see some people that originally didn't support Bud, but supporting Bud now, don't be mad at them. We try to tell them, but they had to find out for themselves. They had to find out for themselves, yo. Don't be mad you see some names up here. You see some faces, rather. That's at the parade, and they've been flip flopping on Bud between Spence, Madrimoff, and Canelo. Don't be mad at them, dog. Let them know, that you understand why they was acting the way they was acting. The color guard is marching. You know what I'm saying, with the colors. OMAHA, the U.S. nation colors, police escort. This is an average, used to be an average dude, man, coming up. Timothy Bradley said he ain't no sparring partner. This is a world champion, goddammit. Come on, man. But back to what I was saying. Don't worry about those individuals that seem to flip-flopped in supporting Bud Crawford. Don't worry about them. You're gonna see some familiar faces out here, and salute them. But primarily, our reason for even covering this is the legend himself, Sir Crawford, boxing royalty, man. He's in the pantheon of the sport of boxing. He's in the pantheon. There ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Bud Crawford is in the pantheon of boxing, man. Nobody can take that away. No way he can be demoted. He hasn't had an A and B sample come back positive except for greatness. Real talk. They said Bud Crawford. I would stream this. I don't know who's running this. I don't know who's running this channel. He got the ring up there. The ring definitely take this shit down. They would definitely take it down. Cause I'm not in good with Turkey Al-Sheikh like that. But they're walking down the street, whoever those individuals are. I don't know if they're close to the gym or B&B or what. They're only showing certain parts. Like they got these two dudes talking, but they only showing snippets of the parade right now. You know what I'm saying? I see Bud Smoke Canelo in the chat over there. Let me see. Let me see if I see some familiar faces. Let me see if I can see some familiar faces, man. I want to see the ones that's over there enjoying the parade. They're frequent YouTube. Where you at? Where you be? Who that? Who that? Who that? Who that? I haven't seen none. I haven't seen none yet. But I know, Bud haven't really walked down the street yet. Okay, here go the cheer squad coming down the street, marching and so forth. I don't know if that's a cheerleading team for a certain school or whatever. They're marching. Bud is making history. I'm glad to be able to see it with my own eyes. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, man. To be able to witness this, this is a moment in history, man, that will forever be spoken on when it comes to the greatest fighters to ever do it. And they was trying so much to place that stamp, that asterisk stamp on Crawford's resume due to him swiping Errol Spence the way he did. So he was going to get half credit for Madrimov just based off simple fact Madrimov had a chip. He had a chip, Okay, who's in this truck? You have a truck with all these balloons. I know Crawford has a truck like that, from my understanding. I think. I don't know if that's his vehicle. It might be some people on the back. Let's see who on the back. Let's see who working the camera. It has a lot of freaking balloons and everything. I don't know who's on the back of this. They're pulling a float. This looked like it might be the main float, y'all. This looked like it might be the main one with Crawford on it. But once again, they went back to the guys talking. Oh, this must be a band. It looks like a band on this. This truck is pulling this band. Yeah. Yeah, this thing. Oh, Resendo. Okay. Okay. Yeah, the float. Yeah, but shout out to all of you that's in the chat. This is a big occasion. Puma said, I've been saying to people that Crawford is a special fighter, and a lot of people said he is not. And I'm glad he was able to prove the doubters wrong. For sure, man. I'm glad he was able to prove them wrong and prove to them that he's just not an average fighter, as if they was trying to make him out on social media. He's much more than that. And it's a reason why he's in the record books. He went to the scorecards with the fighter who those naysayers and critics was on here scrutinizing. If he doesn't knock Canelo out, he's not going to win on the scorecards. But if you turn around and ask them, Puma, did they learn anything different? Was this a learning experience for them? Not to discount or discredit a fighter based off what they haven't done, but yet what they haven't accomplished yet, or what they have done vice what they haven't accomplished yet. Did you learn anything from that? Have you learned anything from Crawford? Because they were saying what he hasn't accomplished, but yet he has accomplished a feat that they were so critical about. Moving up 2 weight divisions, being a smaller guy, so to speak, just ignoring the fact he had an entire year to prep for this. The band is coming by. Yeah, I agree with what he said. The controversy, the storylines. Unfortunate for Crawford, he had a lot of black content creators that's in this community criticize him. And like Puma said, able to prove the doubters wrong. That was absolutely facts. It's not like Crawford didn't hear what was being said. He heard it. He archived it. But we'll never know how much it affected him, good or bad. We just know it was a lot of criticism out there from his own people saying what he couldn't do, what he can't do. They was using a lot of those C-word deterrents. We really made ourselves look a certain way, because once this man went in there and beat the man that they say that Crawford wasn't better than, and that, you know, EJ can beat everybody on his resume, they bring in the car accident. They bring in weight drain. You know, they bring in cheating. They bring in a whole lot of other variables that had nothing to do with him technically going in there dominating Spence. So what Crawford's to do? Oh, you ain't gonna give me credit for that? Okay. You're not gonna give me credit for that. Okay, let me vacate these belts. Let me move up to 154 and face a champion in Madrimov. Why did he fight Madrimov? Hey, Madrimov was a decorated. I mean, they was talking about Madrimov. He had a decorated amateur pedigree. Why not face a Madrimov? Young, strong. You know what I'm saying? Amateur pedigree. Why not face them? He went in there and went 12 rounds. And for the very same reason he was being highlighted for, you know, having a knockout streak that extended from 140 to 147. He went the distance, and they said, see, his power didn't carry over. His power didn't transfer. He looked old. His legs looked stubby. He seemed like a groggled old man. It seems like it's time for him to retire. And look what happened. Word got back that all of a sudden this Canelo talk is real. Let me see what's going on with the parade. I want to see when the champ rolled through. So it seemed like they have a dance squad. The youth dance squad that's going on right now, marching down the roadway. I'm not sure if they said who they were, but it's the majorettes. The majorettes. The majorettes. Okay. I Heart Dance. Shout out to them. They're a legendary parade. They have a legendary parade, man. The I Heart Majorettes. Okay, we got some pedestrians in the parade walking down, enjoying the sunlight. You know, strolling down the block, as we call it. Yeah. 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 The greatest is on deck. But salute to everybody, you know, that support the channel. Salute to everybody who supported you know, Crawford in general. There has been a lot that's said, but we can only focus on the results, because people can say they can debunk what you say on here on social media, but what you can't debunk is what we're witnessing right now. His achievements has already been recorded. There's nothing that can be done about it. You can't submit a grievance. You can't even submit an amendment. You can't take this to court. It don't matter if you get on there and dressed in your suits looking like Sylvester. It's not going to change anything. You can talk about Snack. You could talk about all the old stuff with Victor Conte. It's not going to matter. You could talk about gloves and all that. It's not going to matter. You can pick up all the live streams you want and try to live off the clout of Crawford and be a hater. And just like he's put his foot on the neck when he fought Spence Madrimov, he went there and put his foot on the neck of Canelo fans too, man. This is no different. Y'all can continue to talk about, oh, you look at Crawford gloves and you look at Snack, combine Snack with cheating with the gloves. His fist was too big to be in those small gloves. You know, they removed the padding so his hand can fit in there comfortably. No, he beat that ass. That's a legend. It's some people up here that's mad. There's some people that's sitting up here feeling some type of way that Crawford went in there and lost people money again. Crawford went in there and disbanded a whole freaking fan base again. I love it. If you love it, I love it. If you want it to be on the winning team, it is too late for you. It's too late. It's too late. It's too late. You can't be on the winning team now. This is two of his biggest fights. You had a chance. You was rooting for EJ. You criticized his Madrimal fight. Then he goes in there 2 divisions. Man, what is he doing? It's suicide, I tell you. They up there playing the Rocky movie. You know what I'm saying? When Adrian said, you can't win. Hey, what they didn't know is she was talking to Rocky. She wasn't talking to Crawford. Hey, she was talking to the EJ fans and the Canelo fans. You can't win. Okay. Omaha Supernovas. They put on shows for live events. Omaha Supernovas. Shout out to Omaha, Nebraska once again. Legend on deck. This is his day of celebration. And if you see any of the content creators that's up there on this parade, you know, don't hate on them. Even if they hated on you in the past, show them love, salute them. You know what I'm saying? They dare. Such a legendary occasion. I'm going to try my best not to hate. Because I know when people wasn't in my best interest, you know, maturity, you know what I'm saying? Maturity sets in and say, you know what? Salute to them. Salute to them. Keep the negativity at a minimum. This is more so to celebrate Terence Bud Crawford's legendary, momentous championship parade. Undisputed, y'all. 1, 2, 3 division undisputed. This is not just any championship celebration. This is dispersion of Canelo Alvarez, current reigning, defending super middleweight undisputed champion, Terence Bud Crawford. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. You can't do nothing about it. I told y'all Errol Spence fans, I told you. I told you, do not try to go in there and blend in like insurgencies. Try to be double agents and think just because he looked a certain way with Madrimov, you was gonna say, hey, I just hope that you approve my transfer. I want to be a Canelo fan. I know he's not going to be Canelo. I know it. And once again, they fell short. Oh, they fell short because they felt like Canelo was unbeatable, even though he had 2 losses already. They just felt like, well, if you look at it, no, Wally, understand something, Wally. Hold on. Hear me out, dude. Come on, buddy, calm down. If you look at it, he fought Floyd Mayweather. Okay, he fought him when he was green, undeveloped. He was still a tyro in the sport of boxing. That's why Floyd was able to beat him. And then Dimitri Bivol, come on, man. The dude is much bigger than Nello. 175 pounds. He probably was a cruiserweight. When he stepped in there, Canelo was daring to be great. But this guy Crawford, this guy Crawford is too small. He's light in the ass, bad for business, moving funny, too black, from Omaha, Nebraska, haven't fought nobody. I mean, he had all those, splinters of doubt from people that he had to continue to go and split the ropes and say, you know what? He just make them look like nobody. You know what I'm saying? I guess the main Crawford float, they have two of them. I think they are en route, I believe. One is moving. They have two. So we should be seeing them on camera soon. And like I said, you may see some of your local content creators on the float, As I said previously, with the big fight being over between Terence Crawford defeating Canelo Alvarez and current reigning defending super middleweight undisputed, boxing is kind of at a low right now. It's that doctor's office music playing in boxing. People are bored. That's why you have individuals that's trying to find something to do with their time. It happens all the time in boxing. You have a high moment where there's boxing that you want to talk about, but it's really no big time boxing coming on right now. There are fights on the schedule, but not really anything that you want to just brag about. So you just have, content creators talking about the same thing. They want to talk about Tank Davis. Shout out to Tank Davis, man. El Chin Checker. Shout out to El Chin Checker. I'll talk to him after this parade. I'm talking about one of the greatest ever. Sir Crawford. Day of celebration. And for those of you that's tuning in through the windows, the audio visual, the ones that's sitting back in the shadows, peeking through the closet door. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you buy some Crawford merch. And if you go live and you cut on your camera, show the boxing community that, hey, you convinced now. It's all love. You know what I'm saying? Show them that you was forced to transition. You was forced to modify from being a hater to a congratulator. Tell them you had to go through a modification process from being a hater to a congratulator. Got people up here talking about gloves. Talking about snack. Come on, man. Let me see if I recognize anybody. Who that? Anybody yet? Who that? Okay, it seems like we have another majorette team coming down the boulevard. That's Team Crawford. They have a Team Crawford cheer squad, I believe. You feel me? Team Crawford cheer squad. Oh, they have a plastic mascot that's coming. Let me see. They have the Crawford rap. OMAHA greatest resource. Haven't seen anyone I know yet. I do see my people out there. They said not a lot of black people live in Omaha. I beg to differ. Let me check and see. Well, ITC boxing. They haven't came on yet. You know what I see a lot of too now? People are putting, live streams on members only that really don't rate members only because it ain't too much to talk about So they want to put something members only. Really, the value of it is that they can leave it out there for everybody to watch. Hey man, the tricks of the trade on this YTC, man. It is what it is, yo. For real. But Jessica, what's good? What's good? Boxing Queen on deck. I see you. Right, left. But it's not only about boots right now, fam. You know, that's the first time I heard Boots' name. It crossed my thought process in a minute. Because at one point in time, I was talking about Boots, you know, that no, that's not. And then, you know, when he started to like get traction as far as having tune-ups, he's fighting Lima, Uisma Lima. Okay, you got some classics coming through, some Impalas, you know, on them air on them airbags, them hydraulics. Cool. I like that. Smooth. Rolling down like it's Hollywood, like it's Cali, like being Crenshaw. I like that. Yeah, it's on 3 wheels cruising down the block, man. Yeah, they got that Cutlass riding on trays. Oh, Crawford roofing gutters. That's what the red vehicles for. So that's, you know, this is a guy who they say was moving funny and don't do business correctly. That's what they said, y'all. He wasn't getting paid. You know what I'm saying? He was bad for business, moving funny. That's what a lot of these black content creators were saying. But that was Crawford roofing. Not to mention, this man has multiple upon multiple properties, real estate, and everything. So, you know, hey, I guess they wanted to talk about the 10 to 15 million he was going to make off the Canelo fight. They're worried about things they can't change, y'all. I'm trying to tell them to worry about history. Understand the history is written. You can't change it. You can get mad all you want when I go live and talk about it, but you can't change the fact that this man went up there and defeated Canelo Alvarez for legacy. When you all was up here saying that he's going for a paycheck, he's cashing out, he's going into retirement. So tell me, how does that work now? You're finding out he took 10, he's gonna make over 15, 20 million, whatever. He didn't even get the 50 million that we initially thought. How is it that he's going for legacy? What's wrong with this guy? What's wrong with Crawford? They say you was going for a retirement check and you took less money than was initially reported. But no apologies? I mean, y'all gotta have sometime no apologies, yo. You don't have no apologies for the champ, the legend himself, Sir Crawford. No apologies. They say this man was cashing out, yo. He was cashing out. Now he's the undisputed champion, possibly moving to another division, potentially, hopefully. Who knows? A 160. What are they gonna say now?
Well, just because he beat Canelo, he better be careful with a younger Janabek, a younger Carlos Adames. You saw what Adames did to Hamzat Sharad. Erislandy Laura, he got a better resume. Let me see. No, he don't. Yeah, he got a better resume than Crawford because people say he actually beat Canelo. You know, so but he didn't get the victory. I hope he don't go up there and pick on the older Erislandy Laura. Hey man, if I was Crawford, I'd definitely go seek out Erislandy Laura. Put those paws on him, pick up another chip, and be a 6th division. Come on, man, 6. Go ahead and pick up that strap there, Crawford. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and pick up that strap, man.
Hey man, hey, I'm trying to keep it clean there. You know, BG, I'm trying to keep it moderate. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm trying to keep it within the celebration. I'm not trying to extract moments to say, things that make you go, things that make you go, I want to keep it positive. Yeah. Bud was selling his O, y'all. Bud was selling his O when he was going to fight Canelo. He was selling his O. What else they say in the chat? What else they were saying? Bud was selling his O. He was cashing out. You know, he was going to retire. He was going to retire after this fight. I mean, primarily the one that stands out to me is that he was taking a payday. I'm pretty sure if you look at the entire makeup of this fight, no one can disagree that Terence Crawford is selling his O. Yes, and what better fighter to do it? Canelo is the only name that he can make this much money and punch this ticket. Canelo is giving Crawford his highest payday. Yeah, Canelo got his highest payday off Crawford and took an L in the process. Do you hear them talking about that? No, because they saying Canelo got paid $150 million. They don't care. They'd rather talk about how humble and nice how professional Canelo was, how graceful he was in defeat. Then if he was graceful, shit, how graceful was Crawford in victory? Who is that? What are these people doing? They act like people want to walk out there and dude trying to stop. You're gonna have some people that's getting rowdy now. You got people running out there to the parade. Now I can't say it might be some people that's on that ooh wee. And I don't know, man. It seemed like it was a little wrestling match going on the sideline or something like that. I'm trying to wait till the main float appears central lens so we can kind of get a gaze on the legend himself, see him in our optics, and also give recognition to those content creators who was able to be in attendance over there in Omaha for the celebration. This is the Victory Parade in Omaha, Nebraska. Let me see if ITC Boxing has came on yet. Let me see. No, I haven't seen anything yet. Haven't seen anything yet, man. I like all the special effects that's going on with the software that's out that they making of Tank Davis and stuff like that. That's crazy. We're gonna get the Tank after this though. We're gonna get the El Chin checker, man. And look, I must reiterate. When I told you all how I felt about the Paul brothers, right? Initially, I felt they wasn't good for the sport of boxing. Boxers themselves told me they don't care. Hey man, I think what they're doing is good. So my biggest question is why all of a sudden Tank Davis is catching a lot of resistance, hate, disdain because he's fighting Jake Paul. I asked over 10 fighters what they think of the Paul brothers when they was like, oh, they're doing great things, bringing money to the sport, putting people on. I love it. Let's cheer them. Let's be grateful. They're allotting fighters chances to make more. Okay. All right, cool. maybe I should stop feeling the way I feel. Now all of a sudden, Tank is in line, and they think Lamont Roach, Jake Paul. Is it really that difficult? I mean, granted, people wasn't giving Lamont Roach a chance to come up here. They was criticizing Tank then. Now goes to a draw, and Tank said, "Hey, I'm going for a paycheck." Are you really gonna be mad at him going for a Jake Paul paycheck when there was other people out here not understanding that Canelo was close to fighting Jake Paul, and people's like, "Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Crawford ain't getting the fight," and they was laughing hysterically, yo. They was laughing at Crawford ain't getting the fight. Canelo's fighting Jake Paul. Yo, did you forget? The Sheik had to tell Canelo, "You're not taking a Jake Paul fight, else everything's off." Now Tank is taking it, and it's a problem. Man, look at these classics, yo, coming down the boulevard. They got them bags in motion. Yeah. Hey, do what you do, man. The wood grain panels. Okay. Yeah, it's a cash grab. They said it was a cash grab. You know, they said it was a cash grab, man. Canelo Power was something different when he realized he gonna be running on his bike. Hey, man. Bud had that man doing the two-step. He was up there looking like we had them recruits in boot camp just beginning how to march. I want to see high knees. I want to see high knees. Give me 10 push-ups. Up that. Get in for you now. Let's do this again. Start off. I want high knees. That's what Canelo was doing. Crawford started popping him in the body. Canelo was putting them high knees. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left. I mean, weight classes for a reason, man. Shallow talking points. Weight class for a reason. There was weight classes for a reason until Crawford answered the opening bell. And that jab started going to work. Oh, how slow of a starter he is. That jab was active. That jab looked like it was on Red Bull and Monster Energy drinks coming out for the opening bell. Pop, 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 pop. That jab was on his own program. I bet Crawford said to himself, "Hey, yo, jab, stick. Hey, man, let me holler at you for a minute. I like what you're doing, but let my thought process, catch up to my functionality. I want this mechanics to work as one now. I'm not even setting up, and you already goddamn tripling up on me now. Come on, man. We got to make this shit look smooth as a unit. I like how you popping his head back. Okay, I don't have no complaint." He struggled with Madrimov. What do you think Canelo gonna do? Recycled brown toilet paper, not the brown toilet paper. We're not on here to be disrespectful on a day of celebration now. But they did echo those sentiments. He struggled with Madrimov because he had old legs. They looked slow, decrepit. It looked like he was going through a degenerative process, And what do you think Canelo's going to do? If Madrimov made him look like that, what do you think Canelo's going to do? He doesn't have a chance, I say. He doesn't have a chance. He can't win. They was fighting over a home run ball. Okay. I got you. I'm still waiting for the main floats to pass our optics. You know what I'm saying? I was watching the parade in the Ring Magazine YouTube channel. Okay. I'm just watching it on Terence Bud Crawford, so he can get all the views. The ring will be okay. You know what I'm saying? The ring will be okay. We want to give this channel the views, man. Whoever's running this channel, I want to get in the views. Because he is ducking the rematch. My oh my. Was Crawford ducking anything? I know he slipped and ducked Canelo's punches, but damn, why couldn't Crawford rematch, man? You got to ask yourself, would he ever gotten the respect that he was just due if a rematch would have happened? I mean, would we like to see him in a rematch after what we witnessed at 147? Because after the massacre happened, they were saying that Spence, what's going to happen to Crawford once he moves up to 154? Spence is going to be much more healthier then. It's going to be a different fight. But we all know how that turned out. Search and rescue. They did locate and found out a pulse was active, but yet the fighter himself is still inactive. They found an active pulse, but an inactive fighter. So there's nothing they can do. The good word is he is still living. He's having a chance to enjoy this time with his fam, but no rematch. And it's not Crawford's fault. It's not Crawford's fault. Why? Because that particular person enacted his rematch clause within the 30-day window, and Crawford was like, cool. But all of a sudden, a video came out where dude was, in a wheelchair coming out of Dunkin' Donuts, getting some goddamn blueberry glaze and some old fashioned. And he had a patch over his eye. And he said he had cataract surgery, but then say he had cataracts even before this fight, that fight, and the other fight. Why you think he was getting hit with all those jabs and hooks? So from a man to say he didn't make excuses, he ended up making excuses, man. Come on. I wish he could have rematched somebody too. I wish he could have rematched one of those fights at 147. For real. I just don't know which name I would have liked to see him rematch, though. For real. I just wish he would have, just rematch his shadow or something. I said the only person that can beat Bud right now possibly is his shadow, because he always around him. You know what I'm saying? His shadow is goddamn working out when Bud working out. I mean, I'm saying everybody don't see that shit. It's according to the lighting and everything, but that's the only fighter that can probably beat him. Bud. His shadow. But we'll probably never see that fight sanctioned, because it'd be hard to have a press conference, him and his shadow going back and forth. They'd be saying the same shit. Team Crawford, get active. Man, stop using my shit, man. I said that last time. Damn. Shit. Let me stop, man. I'm still waiting on the main floats. This is a celebratory chevaux, okay, for Bud Crawford, aka Sir Crawford, aka boxing royalty, aka the super middleweight undisputed 3-division champion, yo. Undisputed 3-divisional champion. 5 divisions now. That quick. 54-68, yo. And they say it couldn't be done. Come on, man. Because Tank ducking that rematch because he's going to retire after fake. But listen. That rematch is like a non-factor to me. You know what I'm saying? That rematch is like a non-factor to me in so many ways, because it's a lot of people that didn't want to see the initial first fight. And then, they believe Lamont Roach can be the one that defeats. It's not going to work out that way. Like, when have Tank ever given you a fight that he wasn't going to benefit with the purse? I mean, the man has been putting it out there. He want this money. He want that money. He's been able to move how he move. We cannot be mad at Tank Davis for fighting Jake Paul when Lamont Roach has the same criticism, but worse than what they was giving Crawford and so many other fighters? What tickets is he selling? Has he did what Keyshawn Davis did? Has he did what Abdullah Mason did? All the young fighters is coming as he did. I mean, he's a pretty older fighter, older fighter himself. But let's talk about what they always was using the default. Has he sold out any type of arenas with the ticket sales in his hometown of DMV? Has he been the main event over there? Can he fight somebody other than Tank and do solid numbers? So if that is a part of your questionnaire and you can't provide the answers, then guess what? Don't sit up here and try to say Tank should be fighting Lamont Roach because Lamont Roach did better than what y'all thought he was going to do, you know, outside the criticism that you was giving Tank for bringing him up to 130, from 130 to 135. Don't do that, yo. Don't do that, man. It don't make any sense. It ain't fair. Y'all was dogging the man out just like he bought Hector Luis Garcia up. Y'all was dogging him out, man. Why he bringing up Hector Luis Garcia? And y'all kind of gave him a little bit more, you know, grace and relief because Hector Luis Garcia was coming off a rising prospect Chris Colbert fight, right? He was getting a little bit of drag. You know what I'm saying? He had a little bit of traction, shifting gears a little bit. Tank stopped him. So Lamont Roach, they said, why he bringing a little fighter up? A little fighter went the distance. Made Javante take a knee. You know what I'm saying? Made him take a knee, go out there, wipe his face, you know, take out his boar bristle brush, brush his hair and everything, put on his ice, take a selfie, take the ice off, give it back to Calvin, you know, goddamn snack on a little granola bar. While Steve Willis, hey, El Chin Checker, you good? You know when you're in a fight. Hurry up. I don't want to have to deduct a point. I mean, half a point, not a whole point. Okay. All right, you good? Okay. Fight. Steve Willis got this. I do what I want. I don't care what y'all talking about. Let that man go over there and goddamn eat a freaking protein bar. You know what I'm saying? Brush his hair. You know, send out a couple of tweets. Yeah, leave El Chin Checker alone, man. He the A side of that fight. And y'all want Lamont Roach to come back? Why? Y'all had low regard for that man when he was mentioned. You say, Tank should be fighting Shakur. He should be fighting other champions in the division. Now he's fighting Jake Paul for a check. There's an obvious size disparity. Okay, we understand that. But guess what? Boxing allows fights like this to happen, and you get paid. Sanctioned exhibition. Why are you mad? How can you be mad? You can't be mad. You can't be mad, yo. Bernie said, Bud, start making up punches. This isn't what we worked on. Bud, that great. Dang. Those punches he was making up was absolutely productive to the end game. The end game was to go in there and leave no doubt that he beat Canelo Alvarez. And guess what? It happened. He went to the scorecards, y'all. He went to the scorecards. Even though they tried to make him close, he was able to go to the scorecards and still defeat Canelo Alvarez, the moneymaker, the one they was bragging about Canelo making 150 million. What are they talking about now? They don't even care to talk about it. They just want to talk about, oh man, Crawford gloves. No, talk about the money that he took. Y'all say the man was cashing out. It was a retirement fight for him. Where is the follow-up vids to apologize to this legend? You should be apologizing to this legend, yo. You talk ill about this dude. You should apologize, yo. God dang. He took punches from Triple G and Bivol. Crawford gonna be like pillows hitting him. Yeah, man. Yeah, because Triple G, he already had that consignment. You know what I'm saying? He was always in the heart of these boxing fans as being this tough fighter. But I'm like, y'all still looking at the Kell Brook fight? Because Kell Brook moved up 2 divisions and he stopped him via TKO, right? So I'm like, what was going on? Like, did Danny Jacobs get stopped by Triple G? No, he didn't. I think Danny Jacobs was the one that did just like Demond Nichols did to Edgar Berlanga. He stopped his knockout streak. If I'm correct, I might be wrong. You know what I'm saying? I'm just an old guy on here on social media talking boxing. You don't believe that. Nobody on here believes that. Shout out to Carlos on deck. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Carlos. Hey, don't block the strays, man. We need them in here to soak up this victory, this glory. Don't block them. Don't time them out. We need them to be in the company of winners. That's all. Don't block them. They over here for a reason. Let them soak up this glory. Victory is something else, ain't it? Especially to the haters. They say, God damn it, once again, my fighter lost. If you can't beat them, goddamn, join the hottest chat in the MFing game. Hey, man, you're welcome. Come on over here in the company of greatness. We don't know what it's like to lose when it comes to Crawford. It's people up here that's going to be forever. In the next 5 years, they're going to be like, man, Uber, man, I'm almost there. I got 634 deliveries to do before I got there and break even with the money I lost for both Errol Spence and Canelo fight. To be honest, there's nothing else to prove. Retire and enjoy your family, champ. Hey, I agree, Carlos. I agree. There's nothing else to prove. There's nothing else to prove, man. Shout out to the Go Owl TBA Boxing Talk in the building. W says, salute, champ. Congratulations to all who believe. No doubt, man. No doubt, man. We just up here checking out the parade, man. The Terence Crawford Victory Parade in Omaha. I know Owl TBA is probably there. He probably in one of those vehicles riding down the boulevard with the tinted windows. I know you over there, IO. I know you are, yo. You snuck in through in between the buildings and shit. Got a goddamn snapback pulled all the way down. It's hot as shit up there. Look hot. I know you probably got a hoodie on, wrapped up. Crawford merch slid in the back of one of the SUVs. I know you over there. Feet lean back. Hey, I know IO over there, man. He got to pay homage to the legend himself, yo. He has to pay homage. He had to attend the parade. He had to come out the pocket. He had to pay that check-in fee just to get up there and ride in one of those vehicles, because they were saying, hey, we're going to put you in the open, float. He was like, no, I need to be in an enclosed trailer. Put me in an SUV, dog. Don't do me like that. I can't be seen in the open trailer. Don't do me like that. I can't be seen in the open trailer now. That's a conflict of interest. Hey, man, shout out to IO, man. He's in the Victory Parade, man, in one of the goddamn black SUVs, man. I don't know exactly where, but the ones with all dark blackout tint, 5% all the way around. He's sitting there chilling. Hey, IO, go live, yo, and tell us how the goddamn Victory Parade is, man. Go live, yo. That's all. Come on, man. Connect with your people, man. Say, hey, I had to do it. They had a dude on the back of a van playing drums. Okay, we have another cheer squad. So he said they call North Omaha down north. I'm not defending Tank. I'm just telling you how I feel about boxing. It's not so much defending Tank. It's what other fighters have done, and there's very little kickback. They selectively choose boxing. Look, the critics of boxing, no matter what the level, whether it be mainstream media segues to the social media segues, right? You know, just the channel segues, right? There's very fragmented inconsistency. When it comes to consistencies, it's fragmented because they selectively choose boxers that they want to criticize for whatever reason. Some of these boxers that's in their good graces, they let them do anything they want. They fight any fighter they want to fight, and there's no kickback. They don't care. They don't care. But defending someone, what about other fighters who have fought fighters and you just didn't care? What about when Triple G fought Abner Yildirim? It was no reason for Triple G to fight Abner Yildirim coming off a loss just because he told him, hey, I'll give you a fight. Nobody wanted to see that fight. Nobody wanted to see that fight. Did y'all criticize Chavez Jr., Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., for going in there getting beat up by Canelo prior to his first Triple G fight? Did you criticize Chavez Jr. for his fight with Logan Paul as if he had a chance to beat Logan Paul? Did y'all criticize him? Y'all just let him go in there and do what he want to do. And that man has over 50 professional fights or more? Nobody was talking about that. Canelo was about to fight Jake Paul. They was all happy because Crawford fight was called off. But then you know, Turkey Al-Sheikh quickly amended that, and an announcement was made again that Crawford Canelo is on. Are we really talking about Tank Davis fighting Lamont Roach, who they didn't care anything about? They gave 2 cents about Lamont Roach prior to them stepping in the ring for the first round. They gave 2 cents. They didn't respect the fight. They said that Tank should be fighting other fighters within his division. They wanted to say he should be fighting Shakur and everything else. Only because he took a knee, and that was controversy. They want to say, well, we want to see a Lamont Roach rematch. Really? Come on. Do you really want to see a Lamont Roach rematch? Wouldn't you rather want to see Ryan Garcia rematch or something? Wouldn't you want to see a Rolly Romero rematch? Because Rolly Romero, even though he's at a higher division, right? What if Tank was going to fight Rolly Romero at 147? Would that be different than him fighting Jake Paul? Because I guarantee you Tank would not make the amount of money that he would fighting Rolly Romero that he would with Jake Paul. Haven't you heard me say that money stretches further than the belts? You can have 20 belts in your house and line them up side by side. They still fall short of the millions that you have in the bank, because you can actually itemize and make withdrawals and insert that money somewhere else to the point where it can gain more growth to it. You can expand whatever you're trying to do. You can insert that money somewhere else and allow whatever that is, you can invest and allow that money to grow. You leave a belt on the table for 10 years straight, that belt is going to get dusty. It's not going to earn no more value. It's just going to get dusty and dusty and dusty. While that money can be invested elsewhere in different entities, and you can grow that money. You can build on it. You can earn from it. You ain't gonna earn no residuals off a belt that's sitting in the closet. man, I think what Tank is doing is good for conversation here. People are gonna say what they want to say, but that's my point. That's the way I view it. Boxers that I talked to didn't give a damn about the Paul brothers coming over here doing what they was doing when Logan Paul was fighting Floyd Mayweather. You know, Logan Paul was the initial brother that everybody was watching after his fight with KSI. Jake Paul wasn't even on the scene yet like that. He was fighting some content creator. And then Jake Paul started being the one that was fighting. Look at his resume. So now that Tank gets the opportunity to fight a Jake Paul brother, it's a problem. When he knocked out Ben Askren and Tyrone Woodley, Nate Robinson, a lot of you cats was getting views and clout off him knocking out a small-ass short dunk champion. Now you get somebody that's just the same height as Nate Robinson without the dunking ability, and that's a problem? Stop it, man. Stop it, man. Come on. You know that ain't right. You know that ain't right, yo. I mean, hey, title it however you see it. If you don't agree with what I'm saying and you want to give a description as being a fanboy, so be it. I don't want to use old cliche terms, sticks and stones. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. I mean, call it what you want. Jessica, call it what you want. I'm telling you, when I had a problem with the Paul brothers coming over to boxing, getting all this preferential treatment, all because what they accomplished prior to becoming a professional boxer, now Logan Paul, a professional wrestler, boxers told me straight up they didn't have a problem with it. Why you got a problem with Tank? I told you all this before. Jessica, if you was over here at that time, I told you all I did that. So why do you all have a problem with Tank getting his shot? Why? Why you have a problem with it? There's no way you can have a problem with it. There's no way you can all of a sudden be a fanboy of Lamont Roach. And Lamont Roach is a good person. Seriously. Lamont Roach is a good person. I have no problem with Lamont Roach, man, except he has to understand, like so many other fighters, that he is not the ticket seller. I'm glad Tank gave this man the opportunity. I'm happy for get a black man, another black man, the opportunity. But why are y'all trying to push Lamont Roach back into the picture all because he went the distance? Did y'all do that with Isaac Cruz? When Isaac Cruz went the distance and they asked Tank right then and there post-fight, is it going to be a rematch? Jim Gray, hey, Tank, Gervonta Davis, first of all, thank you. What a heck of a match. Let me tell you that. But from what I'm understanding with the crowd and something they may want to ask you there, Gervonta Davis, do you believe that with the performance Isaac Cruz, right, gave you and those in attendance, do you believe there's a possibility for a rematch? He did well, but hell no. Were y'all pushing? Were y'all protesting? Were y'all out there with signs? We want Cruz. We want Cruz. We want Cruz. Y'all was up here talking about Cruz was giving Tank a hell of a go. He made Tank look bad. Y'all went out here protesting for Isaac Cruz to get a rematch with Tank. But all of a sudden, Lamont Roach, he gets the call up. There's nobody else. They want Lamont Roach back in the ring with Tank Davis. And I look, it's so many receipts out there of these same people criticizing Gervonta for taking the fight with Lamont Roach. And now all of a sudden, Lamont Roach has this fan base, this saran wrap fan base that decided to say, you know what, Lamont, you ain't that bad, man. Let me get a little bit closer and show you support, big dog. Man, come on, man. Yeah, man. I'm a fan of Lamont Roach, man. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start pushing the envelope a little bit more, being a little bit more vocal, and hopefully Tank hears me. And yeah, no. They still got the classics rolling down the block. Tank is exact opposite of Bud, in my opinion. He's avoiding real smoke. Look, one thing about me, how am I going to disagree to a point with you saying he avoiding real smoke? Because there's some big fights for him to fight. Absolutely. He has Shakur Stevenson that's out there, and he has some other individuals at 135, right? He was there while Teofimo, Vasily Lomachenko, Ryan Garcia, you know what I'm saying? Gervonta Davis was there doing that rotation. He was there. Roller Romero. Tank was there. He was the WBA Reggie title holder while all the other belts, Devin Haney, all those guys was at 135. All them guys was there, yo. He was there doing 2 tours of the 135-pound division where there was reputable opponents for him to fight. Got it. Also, you have to wager this. The amount of money that Tank has made without fighting the competition that you say is supposed to be the smoke. He's made more money than those guys, right? So if he's making money and he's a cash cow at that division, shouldn't he continue to make money? What's different now? Can he make money with Shakur? Absolutely. Should he fight Shakur Stevenson? Absolutely. But you can't call me a fanboy when y'all trying to push Lamont Roach on Tank and he's still a 130-pound champion. Lamont Roach has other options to go down there to 130 and fight. Why aren't y'all there protesting, picket signs, serenading outside his window at night, letting them know, Kumbaya, why y'all ain't out there? We are the world. We are here to make a fight that no one else wants to see. We are the world. Why y'all ain't outside his window throwing pebbles up there and say, we love you, Roach? What you mean you love a Roach? Should I get the can of red? No. We talking about the boxer. Come on, man. Where you get this guy at? Hey, man, get in the back. Get way in the back, man. You don't know who we here. We here. We have a mission, man. We're giving support to Roach. Come on. We want him back in the ring with Tank because we want to see Tank take a first loss. Stop it, yo. Look, unfortunately, it seems like Jessica has been contaminated by frequently other channels. And look, those type of viruses happen, okay? But over here, there's an antivirus set up there, Jessica. Be honest. Be honest with yourself. You know there's an antivirus. You know, I have active antivirus over here in this chat. You know, hey, that's one thing. When it becomes a little dead space in boxing, not much to do. People tend to listen to the same thing over and over again, and somehow they become washed in the brain. No, brainwashed. Yeah. They become diluted. The rhetoric takes over, yo. It's okay. It's okay. The little small, subtle name calling fanboys. Yes, I'm a fanboy. I'm a fan man. I'm a fan of the fighters. I'm a fan of the sport. Not every fighter, but the ones I'm a fan of, I have no problem with saying I'm a fan of them. Fanboy doesn't even reach. It doesn't even get close enough to bounce off the armor. The antivirus and force field just stops it and drops it. I'm serious. I've been around the game too long for that. I also say he apologized, Crawford. Well, hey, what I would suggest you do is just apologize on X, man. Are we getting close? I see the airforce.com. What the marine.com? What USMC? What them devil dogs at? Huh? What them shock troops? Oh, it ain't no marine.com down here. People always want to use it. Use it to serve. Use a veteran. Why would a veteran vote for Crawford? Why would you be a Crawford supporter? Didn't they teach you better in the Corps? Is this Crawford's? I remember Crawford having the SS, but I know he's not going to be riding in the SS today. Those of you that's in the chat, activate that button if you feel free. I appreciate you. Shout out to 918 with the $2 super sticker. One love to you, brother. Appreciate your support. Tuning in. Come on, man. Come on, IO, man. You had to be there, dog. God damn. I'm still looking, man. I don't believe you, man. I know you there. I know you there, man. I got some troops on the ground, man. I told them to do a vehicle inspection checkpoint, man, on these black SUVs, dog. I know you in the area, bro. There's no way you was gonna miss this, man. You had to go there to get the footage firsthand, dog. I know you there, man. I know you've been doing this long enough and understand how to infiltrate parades like this, man. Is this the main float right here? Is this the main float that's waiting? Hey, you can't keep them black people. One thing about black people, we love sunshine. But if you put us on a black shirt and we ain't moving, that's a quick way to lose us too, because we're gonna try to find water, slushy. We're gonna have to get some drink. Slits, Modelo, Michelob, something. We're gonna get something, dog. You can't leave us out there like that too long in one spot with the sun shining with a black shirt. Mother can be like, man, it's hot as hell out there, man. Hey, nobody didn't think to get a cooler, bring a cooler of water on here. A lot of shawties out there. Okay, I guess they're moving right now, I think. Appreciate that. He say he wouldn't make it out of Omaha, dog. Oh, man. Let me see if I see anybody over there. I don't see any content creators as of yet. I haven't really spotted any familiar faces. Let me continue to zoom in and enlarge my screen. Pan in. Still no. I don't see anybody. Uh-oh. A little lag in the service. Okay. Another cheer squad. I'm not mad at Tank getting the bag. Lamont can wait. Man, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So you are okay with the draw on Tank record? You are okay that he doesn't want to get his get back? Okay. I'm okay with the draw. That's not his first time going the distance. I'm okay. It might be his first draw, but that's not his first time going the distance with a fighter. Just like there's other fighters out there that went the distance. You know what I'm saying? There's other fighters that went the distance. There's other fighters that doesn't have rematches as of yet. You want to hear one? Terence Crawford. Should I keep going? Who has he rematched lately? Who has the legend Sir Crawford rematch? Who? I mean, Canelo rematched Triple G. No one wanted to see the trilogy, but it happened. Were you there outside, Jessica, saying, I want a refund. I want a refund. I want a refund. Were you out there protesting for a refund because somehow, some way, Canelo thought it was cool to give Triple G a trilogy? Nobody asked for that. No one asked for that fight. When I tell you no one asked for that fight, yo. Is rematches truly happen? What about Shakur Stevenson? Who has Shakur Stevenson rematch lately? Oh, who has Keyshawn Davis rematch lately? Who has Teofimo Lopez rematch lately? Gary Antoine Russell rematch. Alberto Puello, Subriel Matias, Liam Paro. Who have they rematched lately? Jerron Ennis. Oh, yes, he rematched a Karen. How did that work out for Ennis? Rematching a Karen still didn't prepare him for 154 pounds. Is it fact or non-facts? He fought Karen twice, and he still wasn't ready to move up to 154 pounds. He set the fight. You ease my Lima. You ease my Lima. It's just like you go to the doctor. Sir, we have some good news, bad news. We've detected that you have an acute case of euisma. Yeah, euisma is something new. You know what I'm saying? It hasn't been around long, but you have that euisma. And it's going to take a while to get that out your system. Jerron Ennis is fighting a euisma, Lima. He's fighting the lima beans of boxing, no butter. But yet he fought Karen twice in a rematch, which absolutely did nothing for his career, yo. Did Sebastian Fundora rematch Brian Mendoza, who knocked him out? Forget Tim Tszyu. Did Sebastian Fundora rematch Brian Mendoza, who knocked him out? It's been a long time since you were awake. Did he rematch that man? Has Erickson Lubin been able to rematch Jermell Charlo? Did J-Rock rematch Jamal Charlo? Has Canelo rematched Dimitri Bivol? Huh? It's only so many fighters like Dimitri Bivol rematching Beterbiev. You know what I'm saying? Sebastian Fundora rematching Tim Tszyu. That's after all the catastrophe and him being knocked out again. So does he really get credit? Okay, whatever. There are certain fights where rematches have happened. That's worthy. Did Oleksandr Usyk rematch? Yes, he did. So you have fighters at lower weight class that sometimes rematch, not often. And you have fighters at higher weight classes that sometimes rematch, but not often. Depends on if the people wants to see it. That's all. Who wants to see the rematch? Let's talk about 130. Who was rematching at 130? Did Stephen Fulton rematch Inoue? Did Inoue rematch Fulton? Have they? Did Hector Luis Garcia rematch Tank Davis? Or he didn't rate it because he got stopped? Did Keyshawn Davis rematch Albright? Oh, my bad. You're going to say, yeah, a Davis did rematch. It may not have been a Keyshawn, but it was a Kelvin. Yeah. I'm just saying, it's plenty of names out there that we can talk about. Did Ryan Garcia rematch Roland Romero yet? Is there anything on the schedule? Did Regis Prograis give us a rematch with Devin Haney? Huh? Just please help me understand how that works. Has Devin Haney rematched someone of significant importance since moving up out of the 135-pound division? Did he get a rematch back with Ron Garcia yet? Oh, my bad. He's about to fight Brian Norman Jr. How is he fighting Brian Norman Jr. and he had the controversial fight with Ryan Garcia that was overturned? Has he fought Ryan Garcia? Is he scheduled to do that? What about Teofimo Lopez? Is Teofimo Lopez scheduled to fight a rematch anytime soon? Why aren't y'all pushing for Teofimo Lopez? A 2-division lineal champion. Who is he rematching? Josh Taylor? Josh Taylor moved up or not? Why isn't Richardson Hitchin rematching Liam Paro? Liam Paro just coming off a win. Is Erickson Lubin going to get a rematch with Liam Paro? Oh, my bad. Erickson Lubin, he just finished going in there against freaking Alberto Puello. Yeah, I got it. But y'all want El Chinchecker to hurry up and rematch Lamont Roach because you all are getting brainwashed out here listening to these channels talk about El Chinchecker because he's in the algorithm now. He's in the algorithm. It sounds good. It sounds good. It sounds good. I see that blacked out truck, IOTBA, and yeah, man, he got the seat lean back to all that. Okay, is the main float on deck yet? Let me see who did. Is this Crawford or no? Is Crawford, is he on the move yet? Let me see. Let me see if Crawford on the move. Are you worried about something that's going to give you a headache for no reason? Jessica, you was the one that didn't care for the Lamont Roach fight when it was initially announced. You didn't care for it, Jessica. You didn't care for the fight. You didn't care. But all of a sudden, someone has sent you through the spin cycle. They have put you in the spin cycle. And now you're out saying it's fanboyism if I don't push for Lamont Roach to come back and fight Tank because it wasn't a SD or MD or UD. Come on, man. Hey, not only was it not a MD, SD, or UD, but it was also not without controversy. Look, you want Tank to go back and fight Lamont Roach when Steve Willis allowed that man to take a knee, start the count, stop the count, let that man peek his head outside the ropes, eat a protein bar, come back in, wipe his mouth, and say, okay, let me fix this braid right quick. Let me tie that in to that shit right there. Okay, my braid is tied in right there. Okay, you good, champ? All right, cool. Fight. You want us to see another one, a rematch after Steve Willis allowed that to happen with no repercussions? Stop it. Stop it. We don't want to see that. Steve Willis showed you who's the A side. We ain't trying to see Lamont Roach no more, dog. He got his paycheck, yo. El Chinchecker, he moves how he moves, man. And if it was a problem, then we would be seeing the rematch right now. We wouldn't see him fight Jake Paul. Hey, look, Jessica, another thing you need to understand, like, Y'all talk about a rematch, right? But what happened to a rematch in a draw? Please tell me, do you have an answer for what I just asked you? Just let me know if you have an answer. What happens to a rematch when there's a draw? Draw, 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 draw. Talk to me. Fight fans, I want to know. Yes, I want to know if you have an answer for me. Tell me what happens to a rematch clause when there's a draw. Tell me. Do Tank Davis truly have to give Lamont Roach a rematch if there's a draw? What does a rematch, what does a draw do to a rematch? Please, I want to know. Please drop it in the chat. Man, look who appeared. Alex. Hey, how you doing, buddy? Haven't seen you in a couple of years. Hope everything has been great with you. Hey, real talk. Hope everything has been great with you, buddy. Juice Lee's on deck. What it do, man? Juice said, see, this is the hottest chat in the game, man. You know, they just don't agree with everything I say. You know, this is not a robotic type chat. Never. He said, no, WCS Tank got a rematch roast. That fight wasn't the same as Cruz. Cruz lost. Lamont got a draw. Tank got to right that wrong. Tank, God, let me work on that. It's a short word that reaches out and grabs the wrong way sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Got. You know when people say he got, you look up the word got, past and present participle of get. You know what I'm saying? Tank don't have to got to do nothing, man. This man went to a draw. So let me ask you, Juice, what happens to a rematch if the fight result is a draw? What happened to the rematch? Does it still have to be enacted? Do they still have to honor the rematch if it's a draw? And also, when it's a fighter's first draw, have you all been adamant about protesting other fighters who came up with their first draw? Have y'all been adamant like that? Were y'all adamant when Carlos Adames and Hamzat Shiraz came to a draw? Or are you gonna say, no, see that right there, WCSC, that right there was different. That was in Riyadh season. That was different. The reason why it was different because it was just Hamzat Shiraz was the ambassador, and Carlos Adames, he did what he needed to do, but not enough, and they just didn't want to rob, anybody. So therefore, they did Hamzat Shiraz rematch Carlos Adames, or he had to move up to 68 and make it right while Carlos Adames still is 60. Why didn't y'all push for Hamzat to rematch Adames, bro? That was a robbery. That was a robbery. They moved him up there. Hey, go up here and fight that guy, Edgar Berlanga. And see how you do with Edgar Berlanga. Have y'all ever told Edgar Berlanga to rematch any of his people that he had problems with? Why y'all didn't tell Canelo, hey, man, Edgar Berlanga's making that money, bringing butts to the seats. Hey, Canelo, you should rematch Edgar Berlanga, man. You should rematch Jaime Munguia. He's been cleared of his dirty test. Fight Jaime Munguia again. Jermell Charlo, formerly undisputed at 154 pounds. Why y'all not pushing for Canelo Alvarez to fight Jermell Charlo? Because it wasn't draws? It wasn't a draw? It wasn't a draw? Man, y'all just think once again that El Chin Checker has met his match. The man have y'all so intrigued that y'all up here wishing for his downfall. Y'all up here wishing for that man's downfall, yo. Once again, I would ask, what does a draw do to a rematch? Please answer me that. Answer me that. The making money excuse was the same excuse that Arrow fans made against Bud, WCS. Listen, I said the Tank was making money, and that was versus fighters that he was fighting. They was talking about Crawford shouldn't fight Bud due to Bud being a non-ticket seller. What type of example did I make about Tank? Tank already fought Roach. It's not like he didn't. They was talking about Bud shouldn't get a shot at Errol Spence in their first fight. That's what I'm talking about. They fought. They were saying that Crawford need to fight a common opponent to get his ticket sales up. Errol Spence don't have to fight him. PBC can keep the fight in-house. He don't sell tickets. Tank has already fought Roach. Are you talking about in the rematch? Why y'all not on Errol Spence's helmet for bowing out of the rematch with Crawford? Oh, it wasn't a draw. But it was a rematch clause in there. It was a rematch clause. Errol Spence activated the rematch clause and aborted mission. Why y'all ain't over there on this farm kicking chickens around? I know you're here, Errol. Come on out. I'm going to keep on kicking these chickens. Why y'all wasn't over on his farm? Cow tipping. Until he comes out there and say, hey, man, what are you doing over here, man? What's that shit about, man? I beat your ass. Get off my goddamn pro. We want to know why you didn't activate the rematch with Crawford. Why you all of a sudden say you had cataracts? Man, come on now. Come on, bro. I think y'all just too zoomed in on Tank because y'all want to see the man take a L. You believe he's going to take a L against Roach. And that's just not going to be the case. If they was to fight in a rematch, it's going to be much easier than the first. I mean, come on. Lamont Roach, you know, his head is like, compared to the average human, his head like 2.5, three times the size, dog. It ain't like Tank can't find it. Hey, if you say he ain't interested, hey, that's you, man. Shout out to my guy Haynes Legacy, man. Salute to you, big dog. God bless, man. Make sure y'all keep your prayers for Haynes Legacy, man. Real talk. If you saying the Tank is an instrument facing real competition, I don't have a response to that because a licensed fighter that's in the rankings has fought Tank Davis when he was champion. They designated Tank Davis a 3-division champion, right? You can talk about the Reggie belt holders all you want. But they said the WBA Reggie belt was a championship belt. So he fought individuals that they deemed worthy to step in the ring with him. He did. What's the real reason why y'all want him to fight Roach? All of a sudden, it's not the money. Y'all was talking about Crawford was going in there to cash out. It was a payday against Canelo, right? What's the importance of Lamont Roach, 130-pound champion, to fight Gervonta Davis, a guy that was on the pound-for-pound list? What accolades do he get? What's the benefit package to him fighting Lamont Roach in a rematch? Can somebody put in the chat, what does a rematch, what does a draw do to a rematch clause? I'm just curious. Hey, Blue, you can say I'm glazing Lamont Roach, but we all know that you're not a Lamont Roach fan. So if therefore Shakur Stevens was in the topic, I can better understand and respect your response or your input in the chat. but this is just like a freestyle that's going on with you. You're just jumping on board because you're not too much of a favorable fan for El Chin Checker. I get it. He's not going to win all over, but this is not a Shakur Stevenson type convo. You know, this is a Lamont Roach, and I know for a fact you was not a Lamont Roach fan, just like a lot of these cats in the chat. A lot of y'all in the chat was not Lamont Roach advocates. You wasn't a fan. You was criticizing Tank for pulling up another 130-pound champion who happened to have the same belt of former champion Hector Luis Garcia, who Tank stopped in the 9th round or something like that. So, man, come on, yo. Come on, man. Come on, man. These dudes are not my mandatory, yo. Come on, man. Leave El Chin Checker alone. Let him make his check. Let him make his check. Let him fight a promoter. When will he ever get this moment again for Tank to go in there and fight a boxing promoter? Come on, that's legendary. Hey, that man is fighting a boxing promoter, and you all are over here showing how insensitive you are to respect the fact that he's getting a big paycheck. I ain't say Tank is a duck until he fights another championship fight again. Now he can be a duck. That's okay. He can be a duck, yo. The word duck, it quacks around here too many times to the point where it doesn't even really have no value. When are they gonna get to the main? Man, them black people got to be burning up out there, yo. Hold on for a second. Hey. Are we there yet? No. I see the Terence Bud Crawford sign. I guess El Chin Checker would be a duck. But I must ask you all this. Please, can I present this question to you? Does a duck have a depreciation, like a depreciation formula based on how many voices online say that he's a duck? Do they factor in all that? They calculate it, come up with a total, and like taxes, they deduct it from their purse when they're getting paid in the next fight? Do they deduct and say, hey, we calculated maybe about 160,000, fight fans in the world that say he was a duck. And we do that on a 0.0001% calculation per the 160,000 fans who said it. And we're going to take that total number and deduct it from Tank's next purse. Is that what happened? Because if that is not what happened, then we don't have to really worry about Tank being a duck, because it's not really going to matter outside of YTC. Tank has earned the right to play limbo in boxing. Get low, 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 get low. Come on, man. Come on, Haynes. Haynes said, listen to the word manipulation by this man. You trying to give me a sentence? You trying to give me what was going on with this parade? You trying to say a 12 syllable word of manipulation? Is what you gather from my justification of why Tank is able to take the Jake Paul fight? Why y'all didn't say that about Mike Tyson? Mike Tyson was 108 and a half years old. Where was the concern? The younger Jake Paul was fighting an elder in Mike Tyson, and y'all didn't care about his health. Y'all didn't care about that man's health. That's an icon, a legend, and y'all let that go. I beg to differ about manipulation. Such a caustic type word in reference to me. I'm not trying to manipulate anyone. All I was doing is just giving a response to my perception of Tank being able to do what he want to do. I mean, why should there be any type a furious response. Like, why would you be unhappy about it? Why? Jesus Christ, what's going on with these people? Why are they trying to riot in such a small response to Tank doing what the hell he should be able to do? I mean, how many knockouts this man got to give you before he just take, hey, I'm going to take a lukewarm exhibition bout because I feel I've did enough in the sport. I've inspired a lot of boxers. I know I'm a one-on-one when it comes to El Chin Checker. There's not many fighters that you can say that has the knockout ability of a Tank Davis. One thing I have to give Mayweather credit of when it was a controversial fight, he did rematch. He did, huh? So you give him credit for rematching, but you don't. I mean, you give him credit for rematching. Are you talking about how many fighters we talking about? We talking about Castillo? What was the rematch that did it for you? Why? You talking about Marcos Maidana? What did he get out of that rematch? Marcos Maidana is the one that benefited from that rematch. You know what I'm saying? Did he rematch Saul Canelo Alvarez? Nah. Robert Guerrero? Why he didn't rematch Victor Ortiz? Shane Mosley? You know, what about the late Ricky Hatton? Did he rematch Oscar De La Hoya? What about Zab Judah? No rematch? Arturo Gotti that they wanted him to see. Shambe Mitchell, he rematch? What about Chop Chop? No? What about Victoriana Sosa? No? Oh, you're talking about Jose Luis Castillo. That's what you're saying? Jose Luis Castillo? That's what you're saying? That's what you want to hang your hat on? That's what you want to hang your hat on? People, hear me. I'm speaking kindly, and I'm being sincere as possible. Alex is hanging his hat on a Castillo fight because you can't be talking about Maidana. No drunken master Emmanuel Augustus? Huh? You said at least if he had problems, he rectified them. Tell me a recognizable rematch outside of Castillo that you're hanging your hat on that he had a controversial fight and he turned back around and rematched him. Was it Angel Manfredi? Oh, you might have got the Miguel's mixed up. Did you get the Miguel's mixed up? Huh? I'm just curious. Did you get the Miguel's mixed up? Miguel Cotto? Miguel Melo? You want to talk about rematching Manny Pacquiao? Where that fight at? Can somebody pull up the boxer rec that shows him rematching Manny Pacquiao? What about Andre Berto? Alex said at least when he had controversy, he rematched. One fight? One? Because I know we ain't talking about Maidana. One freaking fight. And you say, hey, man, he did what he needed to do, yo. He did what he needed to do. At least when he had controversy, he rematched him. One thing I have to give Mayweather credit for, it was a controversial fight he did. What controversial fight outside of Castillo? Maidana? I got to move on. Listen to the wordplay. This man is using this blasphemy. We all know you're a great wordsmith, fam. But this is the hottest chat in the game. We're smarter. One thing I'm not doing is reducing what I know to be in the hottest chat in the game. And that is individuals that understand boxing, period. And they think for themselves, right? No way, shape, or form am I trying to sway them from their regular behavior, how they perceive certain things that I'm saying in translation. I'm not trying to sway them otherwise. I'm not. I'm just saying El Chin Checker has the options to fight a Jake Paul, a promoter. Why would you shut him out of that? That is his next POA. His next plan of attack is to fight Jake Paul in Florida, right? I mean, they're not related, is it? Because I would like to use a little bit of nepotism as an argument, but they're not related, clearly. I mean, I know Tank is a light-skinned black man, but they're not related, dog. They're not related any way, shape, or form. What is up with all these ads? YouTube.com needs to work on this. I don't know, man. I was really hoping that we will be able to see something. I mean, hold up. Let me check some. Okay. So Goochtem came on a little bit earlier. Let's see. Shout out to the Apostles, man. They came on for like 43 minutes. Damn. I didn't see that. Please don't take my wrench for disagreeing with their analysis because, you know, that's what they do on the channels. How dare you use that language over here? How dare you, man? Fanboy. When did you believe that fanboy is somewhat cultivating? I mean, fanboy's just been around for the longest of time, man. It's just like spraying Febreze up here and be like, yeah, you know, somebody's putting that in the air again. Fanboy. That it has no effect on me, to be honest. You know, confirm or deny, man. You know, it's been used as avenues of approach to kind of get up on the people's skin. It really has zero effect over here for me, you know. This man is really trying to convince us and draw is the same as going the distance. You can't make this shit. Hey, all I'm saying is when it comes down to a draw with the person that you drew with, you have to understand if a rematch clause was black and white, when a draw happens, which it did, and we know it was pretty much additioned with controversy, then what happens to the rematch? I'm not trying to go for a long extended period, right? But what happened to a rematch when there's a draw? And then y'all want to talk about the draw, right? Why was there a draw? Because the judges deemed it a draw. A lot of you all say that Lamont Roach won. So if Lamont Roach won, why don't he have the TITLE? Bing! Why don't he have the TITLE? Bing! You have mail. You have mail. The title transfer is insufficient, rejected, disapproved. El Chin Checker is still the champion in a draw. If you believe that Lamont Roach earned a win due to the controversial knee, the count that wasn't, and the judges taking what they deemed a 12-round fight to take it to a decision for a draw. And a lot of y'all believe that Lamont Roach won the fight. Why aren't you all up there protesting the judges and not WCS? I'm just saying. A lot of you all are thinking about Tank off emotions, and you're boiling inside. I get it. The madness is real. But I'm here to help you out. Don't let it consume you, yo. Don't let it oppress you when it comes to this boxing talk. Don't let it be a thorn in your side. Don't do that. Don't let it plague your daily schedule. Don't let that bad news of Tank steal and steal after that draw. It's 2 points that y'all missing. Lamont Roach is still a champion, right? Right? Lamont Roach is still a champion, and Gervonta Davis is still a champion. So let's go to the required reading aspect, right? Right quick. Okay. Shout out to MKB in the building, man. Salute to you, big dog. Hope all is well your way. Because I'm just trying to do a live stream over here. I've been addressed and called so many names. But thanks to thick skin and all that. Let me do this required reading on El Chin Checker right quick. Okay. It says, Gervonta Davis says boxing is dead, claims he will retire after fighting Jake Paul. Gervonta Davis has indicated on social media platform X that he is retiring after the November 13th fight with Jake Paul. Now, is this the first time we heard a fighter retire and then they come back? No, this is not the first time. Do I believe Tank Davis is retiring for good? No, I don't believe it at all. It's good for conversation. It goes on to say Davis, who has complained during the promotion for his upcoming exhibition bout, what he perceives as boxing's tendency to turn on stars who fall from grace, wrote on social media, boxing definitely did a turn. It went from this side to that side, sunglass emoji, and this side has no loyalty, so why would I care? I move accordingly, sunglass emoji. Okay, boxing is dead. An next user then quote, post Davis, please retire then. So you have fans out here telling El Chin Checker what to do. I am, Davis responded with the cheery emoji, in 8 weeks. Now, this has become an issue with Tank Davis responding to so-called content creators. And he responded with a cheery emoji that yes, in 8 weeks he's retiring. Do WCS once again believe he's retiring for good? No. Just because he's out the ring, he go in there and fight Jake Paul and he's out the ring for 6 to 12 months again. That's not a retirement. It's a lot of other fighters who attempted to retire. Teofimo Lopez, Shakur Stevenson said he was going to retire. Keyshawn Davis said he's in retirement until he get another fight. There's been fighters that say they retire and they didn't retire. They were just out the ring. We heard this before. You know what I'm saying? We heard this before. The same sunken dance. Davis fights in a fan-friendly style, y'all, racking up 28 knockouts among his 30 professional wins against a single draw, just not one draw in his last fight with Lamont Roach. Despite being one of the sport's biggest attractions, important fights against higher profile names like Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez, Keyshawn Davis, and Shakur Stevenson have failed to come to fruition. In March, here we go. Here go their favorite fighter now. Roach entered a fight with Davis as huge underdog, but ended up giving Tank the toughest fight of his career. Many felt Davis was lucky to escape with the majority draw, especially considering that he took a knee in the 9th round and darted to his corner to have his face wiped without suffering a penalty. What was that at the end? Without suffering a penalty. And I've been deemed manipulative? How dare you? A fanboy? What? It seems like the referee was a fanboy. It seems like the judges were fans. All this has made it difficult to ascertain Davis' ceiling as a fighter. He appears to be a top talent in the sport, but has never come close to fighting sufficiently stern opposition to justify placement near the pinnacle of a pound-for-pound list. His defining fight remains his 7th round stoppage of Ryan Garcia in 2023. A Stevenson fight represents a true test of boxer versus puncher, and by far the best opponent of Davis' career so far. Yet, nobody has shown less interest in that fight than El Chin Checker himself. Even if boxers are notoriously fickle when it comes to retirement, quote, "I'm officially retiring from the sport of boxing," Stevenson himself wrote on X during a low point in his career. Only to double back on all but forgotten posts. Davis seemed prepared to let the exhibition against Paul prove the dying image of his boxing endeavors and to let the limits of his talents remain a question. So the limits of his talent remain a question means it's still been unproven that he even has limits that's up for debate. Those limits, many people are talking about Lamont Roach has exposed Tank and so forth, and that's why he should go in there again. But there's other like-named fighters that's supposed to be on the level of a Tank Davis that fans are not pushing for a rematch. Fans are not pushing for a rematch, yo. Man, they're not even on the float yet. You know, they go the champ. Let me listen to this. Sound good. Shout out to the super middleweight undisputed champion. He said he about to lose to Jake and lose all credibility. Man, El Chinchek ain't losing to a Vines creator. He ain't losing to a Vine creator. A former YouTuber. Tank Soul isn't about boxing anymore, contradicts. He's only 135, but fighting at 190. If that man doesn't put that purse down and box, he'd never have a kind of legacy other than a check. Harsh words. Harsh words. Good Lord. The hocus pocus of boxing, that's why Lamont lost. And that's why he want to see a rematch. And you're correct. Nobody wants to see the fight. And man, as long as you know the hocus pocus of boxing exists, I mean, don't be mad at why I'm not taking this extremely serious. Like, why not Tank? Why can't he slide into a position to get a shot at Jake Paul for the bread? Huh? Why he can't slide in position for the bread, man? Why he can't melt some cheese? Why he can't stack some cheddar? Why? That's El Chinchecker, man. Put some respect on his name, man. Be more his own. No, I'm not protecting them. I'm asking if there's been so many other fighters like Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. that just fought, Icon, Iron Mike Tyson, all these other MMA guys that stepped in there. Why can't Tank? Okay, they bringing up the speakers now. Uh-oh, those just Captain TCC. If Tank stop whooping women, he'd be on financial fans. The problem here is on circumstance. God dang, y'all going in on El Chin Checker. God dang. Who would give Davis credit or Jake for the atrocious fight? It's not all about credit, bro. It's just all about, just like I said, hocus pocus. It's just, how you understand what the lasso does in boxing. It depends on what direction is the favoritism, and how the fans lasso that narrative and bring it to the forefront. Right now, they lasso the narrative that Tank need to fight freaking Lamont Roach for a rematch. They trying to hog tie that shit. They trying to do it within under 8 seconds over and over again, the same thing. They hope that sticks. Real talk. They hope it sticks, yo. Jake Stages, I can see that little guy. Boy, stakes, structured, decent boxing. Hey, those of you that's in the chat, right? That's worrying about a draw. There's plenty of fighters that I mentioned earlier that hasn't fought a rematch. Like, it's plenty of fighters' names out there that hasn't fought a rematch. They haven't. Did Lomachenko give Teofimo Lopez a rematch? And that was one of the big fights when Lomachenko was on the pound for pound list. Did he? Did Lomachenko give Teofimo Lopez a rematch? Has Kambosos got a rematch with Teofimo Lopez yet? The only reason he got a match with Devin Haney because it was contractually agreed of 2 fights in Australia. Who else? Who is Ryan Garcia rematched? Rolly? Tank? Oscar Duarte? Who is Ryan Garcia rematched? I'm just curious. All these, fighters outside of El Chin Checker, who have they rematched? I gave you the 140-pound division. Who has rematched? Who? Did Josh Taylor get a rematch with T.O.? Liam Paro? Subriel Matias? Liam Paro beat Subriel Matias. Come on, man. Did he get a rematch immediately? No, he fought Richardson Hitchens. Is Richardson Hitchens giving Liam Paro a rematch? No, Paro just won another fight. Hitchens moving on to something else. Did Gary Antoine Russell get a rematch with Alberto Puello? I'm just asking, bro. I'm just asking a little bit of questions. That's all. I'm a fanboy of the fighter that I'm covering right now. People have called and said all sorts of names, which, like I said, it is what it is when you cover boxing and combat sports. It is what it is. Can't make everybody happy. Y'all are just bored right now because there's really no big fights in the parade of the greatest fighter of this era. He's getting his celebratory parade in his hometown. That's why a lot of you are disgruntled about Tank. That's all. Tank didn't like Bud. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just want to see, y'all just want to go with the next best narrative. Like, why don't y'all talk about Shakur Stevenson? What Keyshawn Davis said? I saw him walking out of the Crawford Canelo fight. Why y'all ain't talking about him? I mean, he was just in the thing. Oh, he's selling tickets. He's doing this. He's the next best face of boxing. What T.O. at? Ain't none of these boxers went on a racist tirade again? Dang. Adrian Broner, he's in the media for the wrong reason. For verbally stalking him out on a radio show. Like, come on, man. Leave that baby alone. Who's the talk of the town right now? Who? Okay. Finally, Terence is on deck behind the mic. Come on, champ. I need for you to clear out some of this clutter from the Tank distractors. What? I thought Crawford was next. They talked. They spoke out of turn. Yeah, they spoke out of turn, I guess. Yeah, they spoke out of turn, yo. What the hell? And y'all pray for Jessica. You know, I know she's, frequent the chat periodically, but obviously she's been on vacation too long in those other waterways where she didn't have the protective equipment. She might have went a little bit too deep, or there may have been some amoeba, some parasitic activity going on while she was backstroking over there. But the fanboyism, I just never heard that language from you. And to come back over here knowing that I've supported Tank the same as I did Crawford, Deontay Wilder, Jahad Tucker, Teofimo, Jess Rodriguez. It's just unfortunate. All I'm asking is make sure I'm going to send you something on your IG, man. I'm sending you a prescription to go get your vaccine so you can get that parasitic, some oil of oregano, to try to get those parasitic, those parasites out of you. It's affecting you from listening to that other information over there, those other chats, man. It'll take over you, it'll consume you for real. They'll consume you, Jessica. A glazer? What? A glazer? Hey, don't be so in a hurry to repeat Blue Hustle's freaking you know what I'm saying, impulsive, glazing terminology. Don't do that. Y'all know I'm not a glazer. No way I'm letting Bud off the hook if he got a draw. See, the one thing about that, Bud, he's not going to get a draw, first of all. Okay. He already went to the distance with a fighter who they were saying that he couldn't go the distance with, or else he was going to get robbed. He went the distance with him. So there's a little bit of shakiness in there, right? A little bit too much doubt. Us Bud supporters, we're not opposers like that when it comes to doubt. When it's supporting Bud, we're not. We know what he's gonna do. Just like you said, we know what he's gonna do. He did it. Tank is the best in the face of boxing. He don't care about what you say, and y'all should still show love and move the goalposts 100. I mean, moving the goalposts sometime. If the actual point goes through the markers, right? Isn't it still a point? I mean, that's the way I look at it. If they allow you to move the goalposts or take a knee, and they don't deem it to be a penalty, why not do it? If they say, hey, come back, you can move the goalposts a little bit. I know your kicker, he's been kicking a little bit off to the right a little bit with the wind and everything. It's okay for you to move the goalposts. I'm going to say, hey, let's get some guys over here and move this goalpost a little bit to the right. There you go. Go ahead. Ref, thank you for that advice. Cool. Hey, Steve. Hey, I got you, guy. Okay. Dinner? All right. Cool. No problem. He can't be the best and he's not fighting the best. How? How, yo? They had him on a pound for pound list, man. How? Who are you saying the best? Who's the best again? Jessica, who's the best? I can refresh my minutes. What was the terms again? Excuse me. What was the terms to be the best again? Who's the best? Who's the best again? I just need to know. Now I just hold my fighters accountable when it comes to Tank. You don't hold them accountable. I don't hold them accountable. How? How do I not hold my fighters accountable? I held T.O. accountable. I've held Tank accountable for being El Chin Check and knocking heads off. That's accountability, isn't it? Jessica, that's accountability, right? El Chin Checker knocking heads off. I say, man, that's another one. Was that not accountability? I said he did not fight. I've been on record saying he did not fight when Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez, Vasily Lomachenko, all them guys was over there. He did not fight them. And I made a point to give reason as to why he didn't fight him, because he was going for the checks. So if you're fighting the lesser competition, but you're still making high dollar when it comes to the designated purse, then how are you losing? Just because fans say, oh, fight. Somebody's paying enough money to come see Tank fight. And that's not the top competition. Somebody, somewhere is paying. And look, I don't feel no type of way if y'all don't care about the fight. Hey, people don't supposed to look at it. Like I said, I had problems with Pauls before, and the fighters, the legitimate fighters that I talked to, said they didn't have a problem with it. So guess what? I'm not gonna have a problem with it either. If Tank Davis is next up to get the bag from Jake Paul, and they're allowing Jake Paul as a promoter to put on these fight cards, right? They allow him to put on these fight cards and put on these exhibitions. That is boxing. Jake Paul and Tank Davis is not the first exhibition bout that we have witnessed. It's not the first. So I don't know if y'all are outside in the sunshine. I don't know if y'all over there in Omaha and y'all been waiting for Team Crawford to take the mic and y'all forgot to bring a water bottle with you or some peppermint. I don't know if y'all, on the first stages of dehydration, lacking salt and hyponatremia, but I hope y'all the best, man. Some of you all might be struggling right now. Hyponatremia, that's a real deal. Some of y'all might be dizzy on your feet. I don't know. Man. But I can't do nothing about fanboyism. I can't do nothing about that. So outside of WCS chat, right? How do you submit information to get Tank? How do you submit requests for Tank to fight the best opposition that's out there? How does boxing continue to allow these fighters to maneuver and navigate themselves around fighters who are qualified to step in the ring with them? Then we go through this other side of the street type deal years ago, right? And it was a talking point. So since the Crawford Spence situation, now we have Gervonta Davis. How is it that no one has put in or no one has came up with the way? We had Showbiz somebody he was put the no running rule. Why has anybody came up with a somewhat of a standard operating procedure to submit to whoever? Because there's really no HR department in boxing. So why haven't y'all gotten together to call the powers that be to try to say, this is what we want to change in the sport of boxing? We want to find a way to force fighters to fight one another that are qualified, especially champions facing champions. I think that's where your direction should be allocated. I think that's where you should focus. Real talk. I do. I think that's where you should do your most research and try to submit that paperwork to whatever institution internal to the boxing that will listen and that can make those amendments so boxers that are champions can face each other. Telling me over and over again that he's ducking, then why can't you all get together and submit the required paperwork with a notary so that they can say, hey, I respect what y'all did. I respect y'all getting together and putting this criteria together so we can take in consideration in the future as to how we can make these champions fight each other, regardless of who they sign with. Come on, man. Come on. Who up next? Shakur, Blue. All y'all Shakur fans up there, y'all better be tuned up, clapping. Y'all Shakur fanboys. Arista Shields in the building. They're going over the celebrities that's on deck. Any other content creators? I mean, they gonna call them. Just checking. All right. Mhm. Grandma Crawford on deck. Salute. Grandma Crawford on deck. I'm just listening to them speak on stage, people. Okay. Barack got the shout out. Okay. Barack podcast got the shout out. Okay. The first podcast, Barack gets a shout out. Okay. Let's see. Let's see on the screen. Special message from friends. I should be up there. I wonder if they're gonna put my clip in there. If y'all see my clip in there, I don't want to hear no, comments in there to my glazing fanboys and all that. You know what I'm saying? They should have my clip, but they should have played it first. Let me see if it made it through the. No, they ain't. They Tyson Tatum. I should have been in front of Tyson Tatum, man. Because what he got going on in his professional career. Shit, Brooke. Come on, man. I should have been in front of Brooke, man. Come on now. I definitely should have been in front of Dana White. Definitely should have been in front of Dana White. Wow, they put Shaq in front of me too. That's wild. That's wild. Why does Shaq look older and older? Like, why is he aging so fast? He said, greatest of all time. And they didn't even put my clip up there. I'm pissed, man. I'm pissed. I'm gonna have to take care of that on the next go on, man. I'm gonna have to submit my grievance for real. I definitely supposed to be in front of those names that was up there. Shaq, you know what I'm saying? Tatum. Come on, man. That's foul, man. Man. Red on deck, Bernie the Boxer on deck. They playing my boy Bone Crusher. Y'all probably don't know about that. This idea is when the chopper go blow to your melon. The mad scientist, the mad scientist. Oh, Bomax sat down. Bomax sat down. Okay, Soko about to speak. Man, yeah. They're playing a lot of down south songs, man. That's T.I. So Cole speaking while the team is up. If they already signed the rematch, they should be able to go right to court. Because you can't really take the surface level comments that you hear out here from the fighters. What is Tank's boxing FICO score? It's probably like 799, just outside, you know what I'm saying, the back door of 800. Yeah, about 799. You get extra points for knocking heads off. I saw the interview with him explaining everything too. I'm not a tankaholic. I'm not a tankaholic. Hey, if Roche doesn't get compensated, if there's some type of violation contractually, then I'm pretty sure his team, his legal team, can take Tank to court and get the compensation that he's just due. That's the way it should happen. Burning the box, I know he's gonna get raw, uncut. Burning the box on deck. Bernie the boxer said we make a recipe for greatness. Oh, that was good. You know, that was a good summation. Red Spike saying he's gonna take a picture, you know, of the crowd, put one finger up, represent number one. I'm gonna shut this down and start another one a little bit later. But shout out to the hottest chat in the MFA game. Appreciate everyone for pulling up. I'm out.